This episode today, I'm joined by former Olympians Troy Murphy, Emerson Smith, and Olympian as a coach Brian Zemba. We recap the 2021 FIS World Cup Mogul season. We touch on domestic, international, all kinds of different topics, and I hope you folks enjoy. We also give a little bit of a preview ahead to what next season might look like and what some of the summer training options might be. I hope you folks enjoy this episode. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, In the Arena is donating $250 to the T2 Foundation. And T2's mission is to make sure the best American skiers have the support they need to become the world's best skiers and to inspire and teach kids through sport. Thanks a lot. Boys, thanks for taking the time to do this. Really do appreciate it. We're finally able to get together. It only took a few attempts. Months. Pretty much took the ski season to end for us to be able to get together.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for bringing us into the den here. It's fun to be in the man cave.
COVID safe.
But
I think we're all vaxxed and relaxed, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty relaxed.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. So, I mean, let's start off with talking about kind of what's everyone's thoughts on how the season kind of finished up, because we touched on things kind of right before Deer Valley and how we thought it would go, and what's everybody's feelings. Who wants to start?
I can start. I feel like I made bad predictions all year, but I did make the correct prediction that Mick was going to win everything once he returned, which he did. Safe bet, but very accurate.
Yeah. I guess it ended pretty lame, right? Like world champs. Well, I got off at World Cup finals and Kazakhstan got canceled. That was kind of a bummer, but nailed the Nations Cup, so go Team America.
Definitely nailed that one.
Yeah, good call on that one.
Go Team America.
For real. I wanted to see the boys duke it out in the World Cup finals. That was like top four guys were close. I wanted to see one last day for the W.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Was
Yeah,
it Fog? Was it Fog that was
I
canceled?
think it was Fog what ended up canceling it. It would have been fun to see those guys, because it was so close too,
Yeah.
which hasn't happened in such a long time. I mean, Mick's been running away with it, so it was nice to see that, like, literally coming down to the last day. But
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Wasn't meant to be. Super pumped for Matt Graham though. He was my pick.
You got that?
Yeah, got that one. So Matt, nice work, dog.
Yeah, you gotta respect that guy. One of the hardest workers, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. Guys
Sure.
always out grinded.
Yeah. Ben had a good year too. He's another one that's out grinding all the
Yeah,
time.
both those dudes.
Yeah.
Slap some respect on those two dudes.
Yeah. Damn, and then on the girl side, Perrine was like the new HK. Just woman on a mission.
Well, yeah, I mean, she skied really. It was nice to see her get the monkey kind of off her back, because I think that was like the one thing she was kind of missing. She had never won a World Championships gold in singles. I think she only had like the duels. At least that was like the big. And she skied pretty well. I mean, she kind of started to struggle a little bit at the end of the year, though. I mean, she had that result at World Champs, but then, I mean, duels day, Kazakh and Russia came out of nowhere. At least on the women's side, that was pretty wild to watch, and on the men's side too, right? I mean, it's pretty interesting to.
Yeah, Duels
spectate.
Day Women's World Champs was like a Europa Cup. Just like, who are all these
Didn't
Russian
recognize anybody.
Kazakhs that just come out of the woods and killed it?
I'm trying to
Pull
pull
it
up the
up.
results. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the results here.
Yeah, right. What else did we chat about?
What else do we chat about?
There were some standout performances. Anyone?
Yeah. Kai Owens came out and crushed it. Well, the whole women's team really just came out and showed up at Deer Valley and crushed it.
Yeah. Nick got his first podium.
Yeah.
That monkey off his back.
Yeah, that was a good event.
Kudos.
Yep, nice work.
Pulling it up here. E-Dog, you alright over there, bro?
I gotta give it the flow of it. I'm a little lost right now. I feel like for a second there we just went back to Idra, and now I'm lost with where we're at.
So it was two Russians in first and second,
What is it?
Anastasia Smirnova and Victoria Lazarenko. And then Anastasia Gordoko. That's probably not how you pronounce that either. That's probably butchered as fuck.
Phonetically perfect.
Sofiane Gagnon in 4th. Tess was in 5th. Sor Hannah in 6th. Perrine finished in 7th. And that was like, Perrine definitely, it was not like a close duel there. She definitely lost. You know, it wasn't like, I mean, she made some mistakes. The other girl was skiing, the Russian girls were skiing really well. The one girl was doing that big heli. She was Statue of Liberty. Yeah. Yep. Thing was to the moon.
We talking like Troy Tully, 360 or
In that realm.
wow?
In that realm. Oh yeah.
Dang.
She was taking it up.
He still got it. He was up at Snowbird this weekend in his corduroy jeans, cooking them.
Still cooks them. But so let's talk about who was everyone's like surprise for the year, or someone that they kind of didn't expect to go out and ski as well as. Let's go surprise and a little bit of like a disappointment. I know for me, like I was a little disappointed. I was expecting more, as I know in our original chat we were talking about Akuma and how legit, you know, and he is that hot and cold and everything else. And when he's on, it's so much fun to watch. But when he's off, so I was a little disappointed with kind of how pretty much all of us called him to at least either finish second or be right there to.
Yeah, I think I called him to win, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you had him.
Yeah.
I think you had
He
him.
started off hot, right? Won the first one.
And then he was hit and miss, but it's such a tough year too.
Yeah, he's just doing triple backflips in the nighttime.
It's crazy.
He's got that going.
Is he really?
Yeah, just like side hit triple backflip in the dark. So, and then he did that like front flip into the tunnel thing. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
He's just been going crazy in the spring. But yeah, I thought he was going to crush. Especially, I thought that not having Mick around was going to alleviate the pressure, and he was going to be able to kind of like tone it down and just show up and do his thing, and apparently not.
Yeah.
I think he needs that pressure.
Yeah, that
I
could be.
think without Mick there, he would like.
It's
I don't
not
think
as-
we saw near his best stuff, and when Mick is there, he sends it.
Yeah, so we need someone to push him and feel like like ratchet up the intensity. I could see that.
That's an interesting thought. I didn't think about that. Like, definitely seems like that could be.
Well, he went from like having the guy to beat to
Right.
being the guy to beat.
Right. Yeah.
And he spent how many years having the guy to beat?
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's a tough. Some people can't handle it that way, right? It's definitely interesting when you're always being chased, or when that person's suddenly gone for half the year.
Yeah.
Definitely makes it a little
Who
bit.
knows what drives him?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
It's a big thing on this podcast.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I know what drives Kingsbury, and
Yes.
that was a lot of fun to get to chat with him, because
That was a
learning
good
the ins and
episode. I
outs
liked it.
and how intense and how dedicated and how detailed he is just there's a reason why he's as dominant as he is, because not only is he insanely competitive, he also absolutely is obsessed and loves mogul skiing and goes through and has the knowledge and is totally loves all those old school runs and all that. I mean, just has it all archived, loves to go through and watch it, and just super, super detailed. So you can see how he's cleaning up shop. It's making it tough.
Yeah, for sure. It's just hard to beat that guy because he's so, like you said, he's just obsessed, and he's already so good and so talented, and he's willing to like eat, breathe, and die mogul skiing. It's like gonna be hard to beat him.
Yeah.
I saw he just got a trampoline, and that's like what he does for fun in his backyard. Just bounces on the trampoline.
Yeah.
Which not a lot of mogul. Emerson might do that, but other than that, not a lot of people would do that.
Oh, I don't think I would.
All I can think of, right, like how many runs he's taken, how much he's done that for training. All I could think about is like, man, his poor back. Like, oh, this is what I do for fun. Like, continued just to train.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I guess, yeah, standout wise, didn't see Ludwig having that.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say that.
consistent every year. The kid
Yeah.
been at it for a while, and it paid off this year for sure.
Yeah. Definitely did not see that coming.
I feel like he's always been pretty consistent skier though. Like he's always been able to put down his run,
Yeah.
and so that, you know, that just paid off this year. Good on him. But yeah, nice one, Ludwig. That's probably the breakout call for me too. I would say him and Kai. I think also.
Right.
Yeah, breakout. I don't know because he's like just been there. It's not like he came out anywhere, but just like consistency, like a showing up award. Like
Right.
definitely Ludwig.
Those guys are all dedicated, though. I mean, you know, Lasse
Yeah.
and Harald have done such a good job with that program. They've got them all skiing at a pretty high level. I mean, they're all so consistent.
Yeah, they are.
And they are really good competitors.
And they're really good at what they do. I feel like they all have that same style, and they can all ski fast, and they can, you know, like they pretty much can lace their run every time.
Right.
Yeah, I think the team dynamics there are good in pushing one another
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, they do a really good job of being able to present that run where there are not many mistakes.
Yeah.
And then on the girls' side, I'd say, I mean, we all had U.S. women's team finishing up there and being solid, but old Hannah Soren
Yeah.
ended up top 3. I think that
Maybe,
would
like-
stand up on the women's side.
I think we all expected the women's side, but maybe different players kind of came
Yeah,
into the
sure.
scene with Kai and
Sure.
Hannah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hannah getting third is so sick.
Shannon still had like a solid year, but I don't think any of us picked Hannah to be in the top 3, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's skiing really well, for sure. She skied well in Ruka, Kazakhstan, DV, pretty much. I mean, it's such a weird year because it's like you're talking about 2 or 3 events.
Yeah.
And I'm super interested to see what'll happen for next year because there's so much more training this year, and I'm curious how that will affect everyone, especially going into like an Olympic year, because I feel like, I mean, you guys know the game, and training sucks. You know, like you do it to compete. Like obviously, like so a year where like more than half of your competitions are essentially taken away, and you just get 8 weeks to train at the Deer Valley course or wherever you are. Like that weighs you down mentally, and that's physically and everything else. So like, okay, same spot over and over again. No real light at the end of like, when are we going to compete again? When are we
Yeah.
going to be able to? Makes it super tough.
I wonder what the program will be this summer too, like where people will be able to train. It seems like Canada's still pretty tight, and I don't know what's going on in Australia, but like there's not going to be a Whistler.
It
There'll
seems
probably
like-
be like a lot of
It
hoods
seems
for
like
the
Chile's
US
in
team.
play,
Oh, Chile, nice.
but I mean,
That can be pretty hit or miss.
especially what's kind of going on in Brazil. I guess I don't know how. That's in South America, so I
Yeah.
don't know, but
It's an interesting one if you want to go
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
They're all vaccinated though. I would
Yeah.
think most of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I guess if it weren't safe, it wouldn't be in play. So
Yeah.
Either that or Hood, because I know Whistler's out. I
Yeah.
heard that Whistler's totally out for the summer again, so that's not going to be an option. And then Australia was still off the books for, I think it was like until July or something like that. It was
Then
still
they're
like
gonna
July 1 or
reassess.
end of June, and they were going to reassess. But that was like a whole, from what I heard, you had to go, and then you'd have to, I think, quarantine for 7 days in like a hotel room, and then quarantine like on the back end going back to the States. So it was like, if you go down there for 3 or 4 weeks, it's actually like 6 weeks because you got to build in another week, and like that's just an insane amount of money and an insane
Yeah.
amount of time. And I mean, it's always awesome, and Australia's definitely the best summer training, I would say. But I mean, that's super tough to spend like 8 weeks, especially 2 of them like in a hotel room.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the Alpine team does that. They like you just get used to living in Europe, but so maybe the Mogul skiers have to get used to that.
I mean, they could always go back to Kazakhstan. They have some experience just staying in the hotel room.
That's got to be the worst ever. That's got to be real rough.
Well, the Australians had to do that though. Like when those guys got home from the World Cup,
Yeah.
Matt and Brody and all those people had to just chill in the. They got like spin bikes delivered to their rooms, I saw, and they were just hanging in there spinning and
Yeah.
doing their time.
A lot of spinning.
Wild.
Could
Well,
you
that's been-
imagine quarantining in Jindabyne though?
Well, no, I think they had to quarantine like in Sydney, right? Where they
that's
landed.
it,
I
yeah.
feel like
It doesn't
even
really
going
matter
down
where
in
you're quarantining,
Geneva
you're just in a
feels
room.
like quarantine sometimes.
I guess it's, yeah, quarantining in Geneva would be tough because the internet is so bad. You couldn't do anything.
But I couldn't do it.
You could do it.
You could do it.
You could do it.
Nope.
I think it'd be, I wouldn't. I don't think it'd be much different than normal life in Geneva.
We haven't seen a summer in Geneva now. Well, no, I guess this isn't summer.
I spent 41 days there one time.
Damn.
That was
It's a long summer.
It's a long time in Gindy.
It's a long time in Jindy.
Some people love it.
Some people do love it.
I bet the summertime there is pretty sick. Like you got the reservoir, like the Lake Jindy. Go out there on the boat. I bet it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's
Mountain
opposite.
biking.
For sure.
The opposite time of when we would go, right?
Yeah.
Because their summer's what, December, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's
Exact
like
opposite.
January, exact opposite.
We should go.
I know on
We
the
should go. We should go. I've always wanted to go for the
For the
Australian Open.
Yeah.
We should go down.
December in Gindy.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about it a little bit on the boys' side. We were a little disappointed Akuma didn't have a breakout year. On the girls' side, anyone in particular you guys were hoping to see had a little bit better of a season, or
I'm trying to think.
surprised, or trying to think as well.
Surprise on my end was, at least domestically in the States, was Kylie Cariotis.
Oh,
Smoking
okay.
it up there, you-dog.
Kylie and
Yeah.
Coach,
Okay.
nice job, coach. Nice
Thank
work,
you.
because she was cooking them to finish off the year. She's giving.
Yeah.
And then
Did well.
another one would be Lemley. I mean, out of nowhere, had never
Yeah.
heard of that. Ever heard of her before, and then next thing you know, just. I mean, I guess
She's gonna be
kind
a-
of had heard of her, but
A
like had,
force.
I
for
think
sure.
she's the next big thing.
Machine. Yeah.
She's so good.
To like qualify for World Cups and be like, actually.
You're too young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Showing up to the amusement park and like, you're not quite tall enough for this ride.
Yeah.
But
soon enough.
Yeah.
That's good
Yeah.
though. Yeah, I should just have
That's-
more time to be ready to go.
it's like an unfortunate problem to have, but I guess it's a good problem.
Maybe, yeah, it might be better in the long run, to be honest. Like, just give yourself more time to get ready and develop, and then when you can just really show up when you're finally there.
Yeah, I think when she does hit the World Cup stage and stuff, like I don't know what she'll be doing for DD and just sheer skiing skills, but I imagine it'll keep getting better and better.
Because you can already do full to cork 7, right?
Yeah.
So 10 maybe, or double full or something.
Yeah.
Which would be crazy.
Anyone on the World Cup level? Girls' side, surprise you? Disappointing, surprise.
Japan had a really strong,
Yeah.
saw that a little bit in Ruka, but they definitely were skiing super, super strong, and they're deep too.
Yeah.
They're all
it'll-
similar. They're good jumps, and yeah, I thought they were skiing pretty well. They were definitely a surprise for me.
It was a bummer to see that Henri get hurt at Deer Valley
Mm-hmm.
because she's really good.
Were you up there? Did you get to watch it in person?
I didn't go up, but DV Duels Day.
Did you?
Another
Yeah, it went up. It was
Yeah,
dumping
DV
out.
Duels Day was insane to watch.
insane.
Yeah.
Carnage.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of really gnarly crashes.
I feel like it's been definitely the last couple of years, past like 2 or 3 years. DV Duels Day has definitely turned it up to 11.
Yeah. That should be like a live nationwide thing just because it's so entertaining. Like, that would be really entertaining to watch for people.
How like duels isn't like a Friday night X Games type showcase is like beyond me. I feel like gets so much attention if it were in that sort of platform.
Aspen's got the course there.
Little Mogul X.
Yeah, they do.
At the time, they're looking for a head coach. Who's going to build it?
It's a great question. It's a great question. But also on the guys' side, Nick Page. I mean, he had a super good year. I mean, kind of wasn't a huge surprise. You kind of knew he would be building and progressively getting better and better. He had his first finals the year before and was kind of building up, and then this year he definitely getting that podium. I mean, that's just got to be huge for his confidence. And then national champion, that was definitely a big accomplishment for him too. He finished top 10 in the world as well. So I mean, it's definitely like
Yeah, and
that
still the
trajectory.
ceiling isn't even close.
Yeah,
To,
no.
yeah. Already doing the 14s in the competition sometimes, and he crushed that 14 in Ruka was like laced, like perfect. I feel like.
Yeah.
I've yet to see a venue where he can't go and do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
any
yeah.
jump I've seen, he'll do it.
Yeah.
And he'll lace it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and he's got the work ethic too. So that'll definitely. I think he was rookie of the year this year or last year.
This
This year.
This year.
This year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's definitely awesome to see skied well. At, I think what's everyone's thoughts on the fact that we were able to get junior nationals, at least like on the domestic side, able to kind of get those events off because there was definitely a little bit of back and forth. I mean, there was certainly much different way of life out here compared to like back east and everything else. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot more restrictions, and I know some of those East Coast clubs had to deal and jump through hoops and everything else to try to get out here. Where in Utah, I mean, it was pretty open. I mean, everyone was wearing masks and stuff, but I mean, it was pretty status quo for like the last, pretty much since like July of last year. It hasn't really changed that. We
Yeah.
got to wear masks.
I think that's a really tricky situation where, like, I don't know, there's maybe no right answer. Like, on one hand, maybe you want to just, like, let it be and let everybody train and not have to have, like, some kids maybe at a disadvantage or some people having to work harder to make it happen. But at the same time, you really want to, like, get kids an opportunity to compete and be involved. And so I totally see both sides. And I think, it might just depend on where you live and what your perspective is, but I don't know if there was a right answer, and I think it's good that they were able to. I mean, they were able to do it and keep kids skiing, which is awesome. Because I think a whole year of no competition, like you said before, could be a real deterrent for somebody at that age from wanting to stay involved in the sport. That's like an age where you're juggling a lot, like a lot of different sports, soccer, basketball. Like there's so many things to choose from, and it's tough.
I think the sport needed to have those events
Yeah.
to keep kids in it and give them the chance to go do it. Because like you said earlier, like I think it's easy for a World Cup skier to, if they have to take the year off and train, they'll do it.
Mhm.
That's their life, they're in it. But if you're 13, 14, 15 and so on, like
Right.
you do it for those events. Those are your goals of the year. You need it to happen.
Mhm.
So for them to get that, I think was great.
Yeah.
No, like I agree as well. What Murph was saying, like the fact that they had him, I think, is super important. I think either way, it's awesome that they got him off. But even if they went a route where it was like a divisional type juniors or something like that, I think would have been like awesome. It's fine either way. But the fact that they did get it with the whole division, all the divisions involved and the whole country involved, I think was huge. It was a huge feat to pull off by the programs that held them, and kudos to USSA and everyone making it out here and all the programs that put in the time, EDOG and Park City Freestyle, Wasatch Freestyle for pulling those
Nice work,
events
boys.
off. Yeah,
Nice work, boys.
keeping the ball rolling. But yeah, it was tough. Like if they decided to pull those events and like, oh, we're keep it in division, like can't really fault anyone for wanting to do that either. But
Right. I think
Yeah,
it brings the pipeline. I mean, it keeps everything like selections and all that. Like, if you don't have a nationals and everything else, I mean, it makes it super hard to. I mean, everything is back on track, right? Well, on the lower end, domestically, like points lists and
Yeah,
you
they
know,
gotta all be right back
nationals
to
and everything
normal.
else. Like, I'm curious, like, what's Canada gonna do? Like, what happened to their freestyle because they had no events this year? So, what does that mean for? Because that's gonna be, all right. They have usually a super deep development and like club level and all that stuff. So, what happens? I mean, we're gonna get to see the other end of the experiment. Like, how many kids are like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to school. I'm gonna be dead. Like,
Yeah.
didn't get the opportunity to have their nationals. I don't even think they had Canadian selections, right? I know they were there.
Sure.
Well, it'd be crazy in the States too, because nationals counts for selections. Your two
Mhm.
best days. If a dark horse wants to come out and give it a run on the road to the games, like Nationals plays in.
Sure.
You take that out and go to just selections. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a lot more pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say is I hope that, well, I don't think it's really even an issue, but it seemed like because the situation, obviously we had to like make do with what we had, so we used the UOP and the snowbird course, which I think are great for some things, but not maybe those caliber events.
Right.
So I just hope that that doesn't set a precedent going forward that, I think we need to make sure that we keep our like criteria about what's a course and like what can be valid for nationals or what, that stuff just needs to be important moving forward. I totally get why we did it this year.
Sure.
But moving forward, make sure that we're standing by our
Criteria.
rule book. Yeah, criteria.
Exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it was nice just to be up there and see nationals, see all the people around and everything else. And I mean, I think that I don't think there was any outbreaks either. Like, I don't think we had any that I remember. I don't think there was any selections. Right? Was there any selections?
I don't think it's going in, but I don't think as a result of selections.
Okay.
But I
Who
think there
knows?
was some drama going in, but it seemed like it sorted itself out. And then maybe a couple of weeks after nationals, but
Gotcha.
some pops.
Fairly unscathed. Fairly unscathed.
I mean, hell, right? Like, even in pro sports, you have a whole team that can be vaccinated, but then 7 or 8 players a month later are COVID positive.
Yeah, you're Yankees. Rough go. It's a rough go. But yeah, no, I mean it was super fun just to be out there with all the for the entire winter. Those few events that I got to go check out, FIS Open and Nationals, just to get to be around, and everybody was pretty positive. Everybody was pretty happy. Like, it was fun to be able to see the kids in their environment, going out, trying to do the best they can. And Nationals was always my favorite because it was the last event of the year. Can't hold anything back now. Last
True.
event of the year.
It's all over with crying.
And it was, duels was super fun to watch on that because, as you say, it was definitely a short course. Had gotten that snow, and it was definitely like a straight line fest for sure.
Whiskey throttle type day.
They made that course as good as it could have been, though. I was driving up to Alta a bunch and looking over, like, dang, that looks pretty sick. For, like, what that course normally is and what it was for that event was pretty sweet.
And yeah, I think it was the first go at it. Hopefully you could do some work in the start, get a little bit more out of it. Do a little dirt work is maybe down the pipeline, but
It could be awesome if you just made it a little steeper and a little bit longer. It's with the lift going right there, and it's right at the base, so you can walk to it. That's pretty cool.
it's at an avalanche danger. It's a nice.
Yeah,
spot.
true. They can open it early.
Yeah, definitely kudos to Snowbird as well for being able to push that snow and all that. I mean, they did
They're
it.
super into it.
Yeah.
They've been up there even these past couple weekends in May, having a Mogul course up there. Some of the local teams have been up there, and as well as all the race teams, like over on Road to Provo. They're super into the spring teams, kind of up there and utilizing that space. So hopefully that continues. We need more mountain support, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, the course looks pretty sweet. What, it's like 215 meters with just bumps, and they got a little jump site next to it. Seems like it's a pretty good setup there in Snowbird. I think they're trying to go to Memorial Day, which is definitely a valiant effort if there's enough snow up there. If not, I mean, it's a pretty good run. It's a good run that they had.
Tough winter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can't ride. Just beyond a snow aspect, like a COVID, running any business in COVID, I can only imagine.
Yeah. No, it's been a rough year, but at least they've done their damnedest for sure.
Heck yeah.
So E-Dog taught let's also, because after nationals you got to go do a little FIS Open action over there, and Jolie, who had a strong end of the season, absolutely heard he put on a smoke show. I've yet to see the run.
You
I hope to
gotta
see it at
watch
some
it.
point.
It's a smoke show.
It's a smoke show.
I mean, it was very good to watch. It was kind of classic Joel fashion. You watch him in training, he's floating around doing whatever he does, and then came out in qualies, had a good run, and then finals just smoked everyone. Like, he was out there in a league of his own.
Really?
It was impressive.
Yeah, has he posted it? Can we watch it?
It's on Instagram. You
Yeah.
can watch it.
I'll have to go check
It's
it
on
out.
the gram. I think it has a nice song. It's got a good song
He
to it.
edited it,
It was a
yeah.
good run, you know. He pretty much played that course for exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was consistent pitch, not that steep, but he just didn't bring much DD, but just ripped it. It was fast.
Yeah.
That event was interesting too, because it was like you watch training and Cole McDonald was on one.
Mm.
That kid was skiing on a mission. So that was a shame to kind of see him not put it together in contest.
Gotcha.
I would have liked to see if he was in that final.
Yeah.
But for the guys that were in there, I mean, Joel kind of crushed everyone,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Gotcha. And that was not like it was just some throwaway contest, as we were touching on a little bit earlier before we got on. But there's a lot of good.
Throwaway game up in Rochester.
Not a throwaway game up in Rochester. But yeah, it was like 4 or 5 former Olympians in it, and I mean it was definitely a. Did they do a super final or was it just Quali's finals?
Quali's finals.
Quali's finals. Interesting. Is that what we should go back to? Should it be back to Quali's finals?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
The super. Get rid of the super duper final,
Yeah.
Super
which is
finals,
actually
you
just finals.
That top 5 in the final, and you're waiting, doing your run for that round. Like you're playing to get into the supers,
Mm-hmm.
where you go to the 16. I mean, it's just smoke show after smoke show.
Right.
16-1, everyone's trying to win right then and there.
Yeah, I think it should be that. Maybe they even open it up to like 20 or maybe a few more. And I think both runs should be new. I mean, both runs shouldn't be new. They should be like you lay down a run, first run, you get whatever score.
Mhm.
That should still count, and so that you
So
can,
like a best of
you
two.
can best of
Okay.
two. And next run, you can like step it up and try something new and like really push it. I think that would be way more exciting.
Gotcha.
I think you probably have to then shorten the field then, don't you think?
Or
If
maybe you
want-
make it
for,
less,
like
yeah.
if you wanted to still make it appealing to TV and be like,
Yeah, maybe.
Just show
Yeah,
off
maybe you
runs.
make it smaller, or yeah, I don't know. I haven't really fully thought through, but I think that format that they do in like slope and pipe,
Slope
they
and-
do
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and they do 3 runs. I don't know if that's maybe a little too much, but I think if you did 2,
Mhm.
you could allow people to like put down, you know, a solid run that they're happy with, and then they can really push it.
I feel like they do 3, but it's kind of they separate boys and girls on like different days
Yeah,
normally. So maybe if you went like 12-person format and did best of 2,
Yeah,
you get
I
it
like
down.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean that definitely makes sense. It'd be fun to just like play with it
for sure.
and see how that works out. I mean,
Yeah,
one thing that
hopefully.
I think's been rough is the duels format is with the changing of you scoring the one run and then the one. I don't know. Kind of like the old duels format. Seems to
Yeah.
make more sense in my head.
I think that 2 best of 2 run format would open up the avenue maybe for like doubles and whatnot. You know, like a little bit more flexibility of all right, I already stomped a run, now I'm gonna play and push on this one. And
yeah. What do you guys think about that? That's such a contentious issue. The doubles in mogul skiing. I'm down.
I think
I am not down.
Not down.
Not down.
Not
Like
that.
if you want to go do doubles, get some twin tips, go to park, do it too.
I'm down if it's like a certain, I guess, court. It's got to be the right venue. Like I think you need to change the venue in a sense. Like we've seen sometimes that it's in World Cup finals and duels events where there's no bottom section. Like okay, like this is a big money booter bottom air, and maybe it's like a showcase event. But it would be cool to see it more often in the sport. I think.
But it's been proven that you don't have to change it. They can do it.
That's the
in
thing.
the
I
specs.
would be super into it if spec didn't change at all. You got guys like Mick, Akuma, Nick.
Yeah, they've
They
all
go,
done it in
they
spec
do it
courses.
in spec. You can do it in a 15-meter chop. Congrats. Well had. But if you need like a bigger pad or a bigger transition, bigger jump, then like maybe not for you.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, I think that you can't change the spec around on it.
I
think
guess-
it needs to.
I guess I'd maybe change a little because then you open up a little bit. Like how creative could you get? Could you like go switch real quick and do a switch double and a mogul run? Like
I think that'd be sick. I'm all
That
for
used to-
that.
Marty Odlin used to do that back
Yeah,
in the
he
day
did.
of selections.
if
Nice
changing,
name drop.
yeah,
Solid.
if changing the specs will allow for more like out of the box creativity. You had a few events, or maybe they're not like, okay, here's an event at the end of the year that's not going to count towards rankings or something. I don't know, but it would be cool to like let's expand it a little bit and see how wacky and wild we can get.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's that guy from Montana that was doing the Road Sevens, which is cool.
Oh yeah,
Renner Skidmore.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
also did a switch one.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Nationals.
Yeah,
Nice.
Where he
Nationals.
landed switch and came across the line switch or something.
Yeah.
There was some sort of switch in there.
Yeah, I think he came across the line switch or he landed switch. I can't remember.
Something. It was in a duel.
He landed switch
Yeah.
and skied the
Maybe a
bottom
court
section.
9.
Hard to get a good bottom section score switch, I would
Hard to
think.
get a bottom.
But good on him.
Yeah, it was sick though.
So yeah, I guess I'm for both. Either way,
Yeah.
spec, not spec.
What if you made the changing around the spec of like middle section? So so you have a 4 or 5 turns in the top section, short top section, middle section's like 15, 20 turns, and then you have like a 40 turn
I
bottom
would
section.
love
Just
that.
like
Yeah, that's
just
awesome.
okay, you land your court 10. All right, like you got 50 turns to go. Let's see what you got. Just
Yeah.
not every course. Just play around like one venue. Maybe it's a course that's super flat. Maybe you do it somewhere that so you move both the jumps are super close, and then you land your 10 and it's not 3 turns. You got 40 to go. Like, all right, let's see how you're able to hold on with that.
That would showcase like this skillful mogul skier. I think
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I mean, Tremblant one year had a crazy long bottom section. I mean,
But it was so flat.
it was the steepest part of that course, which I mean is still flat, but it's the steepest part. You had to land that bottom air and knock out like 12 to 15 turns down there, which a normal bottom section, yeah, it's just like 3, 4. Here we go.
Yeah.
Claim City.
Maybe there needs to be like a separate series, which is like an open, and then like every event's a little bit different. One event they've got huge tables, one event they have a huge bottom.
I mean, I think
section.
that's what the World Cup tour should be. That's kind of
Yeah,
what it
that
used to
could
be.
be. Yeah.
You would go to Inuashiro or someplace else.
Yeah,
that
it was like
super
insanely
steep.
Yeah.
And you'd have the best guys in the world just like backing down to do like, okay, I'm just gonna do like a lay up top. Or
Dude,
like
I
a
went
back
there-
X and-
I got to compete there once, and it was like Villado and Meg were just like doing the gnarliest double folds on that top air. It was so crazy. I think I tried 1 or 2 and was like, no, doing it then. Like, there's no way.
We're in
In Inuashiro. So crazy. That place was insane, dude. The most intimidating thing I've ever.
It wasn't like bottom air crashes too. Like I feel like I remember seeing some.
Well,
I
the
think
bottom
Captain
air was
E,
sketchy
like,
because
bottom air
it gets really
crashes.
flat.
Yeah.
And so, like, you'd be coming in so fast thinking you're good, and then all of a sudden you, like, catch your tips. That place was badass.
play around.
Yeah.
Because all of the, I mean, it's all become so cookie cutter, and it's the same, fairly same lit, and that's all part of like creating that spec. But I think it makes it
Yeah, I guess someone
I
paid
mean,
me
it
my
makes it-
comments from earlier, but yeah, that would be
Yeah.
cool.
just another little change in there. There has to be. A
I
few
think just like the more you open it up to higher DD, like the more spec it needs to become, right? Like you show up at a half pipe, you show up at a free ride event, like those jumps are so to spec because the risk
No,
they're
not really
doing.
though, because they like
In a
at
half
every
pipe,
slope
like almost
event.
every half pipe, like
Well, yeah,
granted
half pipe
conditions, but
is.
like same walls, like all the specs in terms of vert, height, all that type of stuff because of what they're throwing. If the,
Yeah,
the
but the
air
slope
factor.
comps not so much. Like they'll show up to a slope comp and the jumps will be tiny, and obviously no one's doing triples.
Yeah.
So I think you have to kind of leave it up to the athletes to decide when they're going to do this. If they're going to do doubles, when they're going to do it. I don't think like the athletes are going to do a double no matter what. Like you don't even see that now. Like the athletes, if there's a sketchy top air, like they don't do a 10, they don't do a double full.
Right.
It's not like they're going to just go out there and like kill themselves. I don't think that.
But that's the thing with current spec. Like athletes have shown they can do doubles.
Yeah, right. That's right. But they're not going to do it at every course.
No.
Add more strategy to it, yeah. If you had some that are like no way, and then some that are a little bit more open, yeah, sure.
Yeah, like Deer Valley, you probably would do a double, or Aruka, you probably would do a double if you're at like, I don't know, where's a small bottom air, somewhere where it's like flat, they probably wouldn't do it.
Or it falls away like Calgary, like
There, they probably would do it. It'd be easy.
yeah.
Park City Norian back in the day. Remember that bottom air fell away.
The one that was built with trash cans?
Wasn't that every course?
Yeah, yeah. It was.
Oh, boy.
Depends on the year.
Right. I remember hauling a lot of trash cans when you're full of snow.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think kind of like right in every other sporting, you show up to different venues. Like you have to play a venue a certain way. Why not have that in mogul skiing where you have to ski it a certain way, jump it a certain way?
Well, I think that creates more of the challenge and gives you a true, like, overall. I mean, clearly Mick is dominant right now, but I mean, I think that it just gives you an overall, like, okay, who's the actual. I mean, if everything is so close to being that, you know, Deer Valley is the one essential difference, right? All the other courses are pretty similar. Here and there. I mean, right? Obviously, you'll deal with firmness, you'll deal with pow days, you'll deal with a bunch of different. But I mean, for the most part, I can't speak for China or any. I mean, you guys would know. So I mean, is it all? I mean, are they that, or do you think they're different enough that you still get that?
They're pretty different, I would say. Like, I would say, like, the overall profile of the courses are very similar in a lot of regards, but, like, if you go to China, it's, like, really tight and super firm. If you go to, like, Tremblant, it's going to be way more spaced out and, like, a little more flat. Calgary has, like, the rollover. Like, there
I wish Calgary would build that rollover.
Like it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I saw Calgary, damn near pissed my pants.
Yeah, it used to be sick.
Like, you look at that and you're like, whoa.
It's so tough, like, to get to not only like build a venue but to get mountain support. It would be sweet that maybe you had two or three venues or resorts that would hold events every year. But I think also too, if you had maybe 5 or 6 new places every year, where like
for sure
that would like really stir the pot a little bit, because even while there might be some variances between the courses, the places you go are pretty much always the same, and it's pretty much the same course every time you go there.
Right.
So,
I think on the courses, the biggest gap that needs to happen is the NORAM level to the World Cup level. I think there's a big gap in courses there. Like, I mean, you go ski Winter Park at selections, and then you get a start at Deer Valley.
Yeah,
you just went on Child's Play, and now you're on the Monster.
Right.
yeah, but like the NORAM courses tend to be on World Cup courses, like Valsing-Cone, Calgary. Apex.
You're more talking selections, I think.
Like,
it's hard to go from.
You know,
got it.
Well, it's year to year. You know, you go on some NORAM tours where you go Deer Valley, Calgary, St. Come, and then finish on a Killington or something.
But that's 1 out of 4, I guess. So
yeah. So like that year's good, but then you go like
North Star,
an OG Park City, North Star, somewhere back east. You know.
Yeah.
But I think the selections point is a good one. Like, you're some kid that goes out and wins selections at Winter Park, and you think you're on top of the world, and just are gonna like roll up to Deer Valley and crush, and then you get there and it's totally different.
Buckle up.
I mean, it's gonna be totally different anyway. But I think if the selections course was a little bit more challenging, like you maybe would get a different outcome, and you may get somebody who is a little bit more prepared. And I'm a guy who won the Winter Park selections, and I wasn't prepared.
Remember back in the day when it was a little bit more like, do you guys remember when it was super steep coming out of the top?
Winter Park?
Yeah, that was sick.
The old course.
And it used to be like, well, it still is pretty small top air, and that makes it challenging. Into like a tough exit. But then after that, like if you can get through those first like 5 turns,
out of the top air, that was, yeah.
But they used to have, like, Winter Park back in the day, I mean, because selections used to rotate a lot more. It wouldn't just be at Winter Park every year. They had the Sprint Grand National there in, like, 2000 or 2001.
Nerd.
But that was, like, right at the face of the mountain. It was super steep. I mean, it was a great spot, great setup, and it really, I'll take a beer.
Well, they have like such a cool heritage of ski, like mogul skiing there. It'd be cool if they did it at Mary Jane. Obviously hard to view it, but it'd be cool. I'm good for now.
But they had such a different. I mean, they have that whole other side of the mountain, which is awesome. And then, but as you were touching on, like, I can't remember who said it about trying to go with different spots, of to help grow the sport. Like, okay, let's try to have different areas. You run into that issue when you go through and you do a NORAM at a North Star. right? Because that's just a program that's trying to help build and how, try to get some of that growth in the sport, and that's huge for that program, right? Like you have a full scale event there. You're able to pull off a NORAM, and I know it's, everything in the program there is going super well, and like the growth has been great, and so hopefully in the future, they'll be able to bring more events there, and so that's kind of the hard dynamic to go back and forth. Like maybe you have but what's the other option? Because NORAM's big growth. A regional event isn't really going to do it. Are you going to hold the nationals or like the main events? It's a NORAM, it's a nationals, it's a juniors. If you really want to get that growth and help the club and all that stuff, so I mean it's a catch-22 when Nat didn't have a ton of staff to help with the course and all that stuff. I remember being up there helping them after training and all that stuff with Mick and Marchetti and whoever else when we were chopping and digging, and but it's one of those, and they also got a bunch of snow. I mean, I get it. That course was ridiculously flat.
They got some work since then, but we need, in a sense, like more programs like that there once was never a program there, and now
even that event.
It's been 3 kids, and now it's 43, 47 kids. Like,
I think doing a tour like that throws a total curveball in people too. Like, you go somewhere else. It's not the standard NORAM stop, people have to go ski a new course, which I think is great.
And it's flat, but or like maybe it's not as flat as it was, or like it's different at least. Like there's more strategy to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great course. I'm throwing no shade at North Star. It did great by me.
Yeah.
Did you win?
I
was talking today with Brian Wilson about it's funny, we were like pretty much the same thing, and we were saying it'd be cool to involve a lot of like new places in like Montana and Idaho, and like in the Midwest there's a lot of opportunity for growth, I think. And it would be really cool to do a series where you had the kids who were just below the NORAM tour, like the kids who maybe like just didn't make it, and have kind of like this group of 20 kids, and they go on the road to all these new resorts, and it's kind of like an expo where they're competing for like a tour, but then the local kids at those places also get to jump in.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and then while you're doing that, like you could kind of like try to talk to these different resorts about how you set it up and how you like run a program, and just kind of like spread the word that way. Because like the NORAM kids are obviously hyper focused on what they're doing and trying to make World Cup, but the kids who just didn't make it, if they had like a group of 20 of them, I think it'd be like a tight-knit competitive group.
Pipeline.
Yeah, better pipeline, and it's not like they don't just go back to their home division and compete with the same people they always have. They get to like compete with this group who's all just about to make it, and then they also get to like kind of spread the word and show off mogul skiing.
And they ski different courses. It's kind of like you said on the World Cup, like different places you go with spacings and even
and you know
how
that
those how they shape
courses
them up,
are going to be way different.
Like it's crazy the first time you leave, say, your home division, you go to a new course, like that day of training can be a curveball for some, or it can be awesome for others. Like you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, well, definitely. But I mean, I think all good points to try to help get some growth, and it would be interesting to be able to reach out to those clubs in the Midwest and everything else, especially with over the past year. I mean, one of those things about COVID is everything you can do online. I mean, you have all those classes you have. I mean, you could essentially do a Zoom master class with, reach out to some of those mountains in the Midwest and be like, hey, you want, Zoom video, use some freestyle, and boom, boom, boom. Okay, you want to start up a little club, and it's not that hard. It's super easy to do.
Once you get through the Olympic year, it'd almost be great if USSS had some sort of like a part of their education department was someone that's versed in mogul skiing goes to like new clubs, like travels around, like, hey, have you ever thought of like doing a mogul program and show like a little informational video or PowerPoint or slide, and like
totally
a couple people in a room, they're like, oh, that looks fun, let's start that. Like, how do we do that? Like,
right,
because to think like there's so many untapped awesome places that I can't think of that need a mogul program or don't have a mogul program. Like, think of like how many mountains are up in Washington State, or how come we've never been to Mammoth for a mogul event? what's going
And
on.
then all
in
those
some
places
of-
in the Midwest, and they like
Yeah.
seed mogul courses like to the public. They're just like open.
What's like Jackson Hole, right? Like what?
Yeah.
All these epic mountains.
Well, I think the thing about those places is there's so much other stuff on offer that maybe you might be like swimming upstream there. But if you go to somewhere like the Midwest where like there isn't like a big mountain to be skiing a ton of powder, like the only game in town is like a racing or a park or a mogul course, and they have lights and the kids can show up after high school and like, or after elementary, after school and show up and ski. I think that's why Quebec does so well, because their mountains are not as prestigious as they are in BC, and there's not as many distractions, and the kids like, you kind of show up to the mountain and all there is to do is ski the mogul course.
Right.
Or if there's some in the events department with like US ski team, we talk about branching out and going to different places like they do now in MLB and NFL, where you'll have like the London game, or like they have a Field of Dreams baseball game and a Mexico City football game. How does the events department be like, well, what mountain do we have a good partnership with? Okay, mountain, whatever, would it be Jackson Hole, Crispy, whatever. Like, what if you approach them with like, hey, everyone, like, we know mogul skiing is huge here, but we want to throw an event here. Like, that would be sweet.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that would be awesome. And then also the clubs that formerly used to have programs and used to have like super strong programs. I mean, Bogus Basin comes to mind. Bogus Basin held nationals in 2002, and they were, Holt Haga, Nick Hanscom, David Boucher. I mean, they had a lot of really good. I think G.W. Crichton, who was G-Dub, he was on the aerials team too. I mean, they had a lot of like good people come out of Bogus Basin.
No.
That's true. I'll take that. But like, you could easily build that program back up. I mean,
they have a huge like population pool to draw from
Right,
too.
where was it? Was there a World Cup at Fortress, like up in Canada back in the day, or those type of places?
Well, you look at now, like the U.S. team nominations came out. What is there? There's 4 or 5 clubs in there of all the teamers.
That's crazy.
There's like what, 14, 15, 16 athletes?
Yeah.
4 or 5 clubs.
Killington, Wasatch, Vale,
Steamboat.
Park.
Winter Park. We're missing someone, and we'll hear about it. But yeah, that's anyone from Park City skiing snowboard?
I don't think so.
Does anyone claim that?
Not
Just tough because so many people like, but where they're from, Park City. But that's crazy.
But that also, I mean, you look at it. I mean, Park City is one of the everyone comes here because the facilities and all that stuff. I mean, it makes it super open to come to, right? I mean, why would you not train best spots?
Yeah.
I mean, other on the East Coast, well, you got to go to Placid, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what the scene is like there. I feel like it's a lot different than when we were skiing there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are there like mogul skiers jumping at Placid anymore? I don't know.
Because that's the other spot. You go to Placid on the East
Last
Coast.
one.
But I think Waterville has their airbag and Killington has an airbag. Does Stratton have an airbag?
They just built
Yes.
an indoor
They have like
ramp
an
into
air
a foam
farm.
pit.
Yeah.
Who did?
in their barn.
Stratton. Yeah, they have like a
Oh, okay.
ski. Yeah, foam pit, right?
Yeah,
They
I
have
just
some-
watched a video on the build of it. They built
Yeah.
like an indoor ramp into a foam pit in a barn, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that? Has anyone done the? I've never done the airbag.
I've never done the airbag.
Is the airbag like legit? Or is
I've
it,
never done it.
you've never done it?
The
Apparently,
only
like
Too old.
Dude, we're all dating ourselves.
I saw a sweet one in Whistler one year. The Ireland ski team, didn't know it was a thing. They had 2 jumps side by side, and they had a custom airbag, and
Wow.
it sloped with the landing hill. It was like this crazy thing, and a mogul jump into it, and then right next to it they had a mogul jump to snow, and that
Whoa.
looked like it could be the most progressive sight
I
Yeah.
always
you
thought
could have.
the free ski one at UOP was for the summer and winter.
Well, they had
No, they
that,
just-
but on a
they-
mogul site.
They make
It's
the
crazy.
That's wild.
so at the UOP they have the free ride jump into the bag and then they get rid of the bag, but they pretty much build the like exact same
Same
jump.
jump, but like I thought it was always going to be there, so you could do like
Yeah.
snow
Yeah.
to bag.
Well, that's
bag
a
to
lot of
snow.
European countries are doing that. They're building 2 massive jumps side by side in the winter, one to an airbag that has the slope of the landing down to their flat
Apparently, you
pad.
still get bodied on those though.
For sure. But I mean, could you imagine the progression? You go
Yeah,
do
crazy.
however many onto an airbag and then take it to an identical jump on snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super. Because I mean, I always, one of the sweet things about Whistler is you could go up on snow and then you could go water ramp if you wanted to. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that was pretty progressive.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like,
Well, I
think
saw the Ireland team doing it, and this was when I was still an athlete, and I was like, hey, I could use that. That would be nice, you know? Never happened, but...
Yeah, that's weird. Like, I feel like the U.S. team should have that.
They should.
Right.
Or, I feel like a Mogul airbag wouldn't have to be that big. It wouldn't even have
No,
to be
it
that
wasn't
tall.
that big.
Was it like
It
3
was-
feet
it
tall,
was
4
like-
feet tall?
Yeah,
I think Killington says there's something.
probably
wasn't it?
3 feet tall.
Come
Yeah,
on.
but theirs is like the, you know, the whole to do, like, drag this
This
huge
was
thing
like,
out.
you skied in on snow to a snow jump, and then landing pad airbag. And
How
right
tall is the airbag?
Probably 2.5, 3 feet
Yeah,
off the
small.
ground. I mean,
Yeah.
it was small.
How,
And it was only...
was it essentially the size of this room? Was that how, like,
Yeah,
big
and I
maybe
mean, it
it's
was
not-
like,
yeah.
picture a mogul pad, you know,
Okay.
15 meters. It had a slope down to a flat airbag as well, and you landed on the slope, and then the identical jump and landing pad right next to it. Crazy.
super crazy?
The technology.
Find out the
these days.
schematics. Call up Ireland, man.
Team Ireland's about to show
I don't
up.
even know
They're
who
gonna
you
be
called
doing
that.
that.
Ireland's
Yeah.
about to show.
2026, see Ireland. I called it here.
You heard it.
Well, I mean,
Start
on,
the,
on that note, speaking about the Olympics, I mean, what are the thoughts on 2022? Because especially in the last couple of days, there's been a lot of got to boycott, can't go to Beijing.
Oh, really? I
Boycott
haven't
it.
been
Yeah, there's
not-
been a lot of people trying to boycott the IOC, and the Olympics shouldn't happen this year. Or
Ah.
not so much Tokyo, more of Beijing.
I did not know
So-
that. Because of what?
Just because of all the discrimination and
Yeah.
kind of camps and they got
The
some bad
Uyghur
stuff
thing
going
in
on
China.
up there.
Not good.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
I mean,
But I in my perspective, I don't. You're not going to accomplish anything except you're just going to hurt the athletes. I mean, obviously it's from an athlete perspective, so it's a selfish perspective. But at the end of the day, the boycotts have happened before. We've boycotted Olympics before.
Yep.
Yeah, other countries have boycotted our Olympics in Los Angeles. I mean, you know, we've done it before, and literally nothing was gained from. I mean, at least to my recollection, I mean, there weren't that many things that were gained from doing those boycotts, other than the athletes weren't able to compete. And I mean, I already know people that were pushing for Tokyo last year and decided to retire because they didn't want to go through another year of having to get ready for another Summer Olympics, and they're right on the line of
Could you
do I have
imagine
right?
qualifying for those Tokyo games and then it doesn't happen and you got to go through that process again?
Insane.
Crazy,
Ooh.
super crazy.
I didn't hear that.
Paying attention to the issues while they're there.
I don't know if China would let them.
I mean, could China say?
Probably bring
yeah,
home
like,
some pieces.
what-
I don't know.
I think it'd be tough in the moment to stop an athlete from, like, the Olympics is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, media covered sporting event in the world, and to, like, cut cameras as soon as an athlete feels to express themselves in the moment.
Yeah, I don't think they could do that.
I don't think they would
If
be able to do
anyone
that. And I
A
don't
little bit of a tape delay, though. Come on, I don't know if there's any.
yeah, but it's
But they aren't controlling the network.
yeah, they don't control.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
they could control the networks that come in,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think
Yep.
with this. I don't know, not to get political. I don't think with this administration, like, I think the U.S. would participate, but
You would. I mean, I don't know. Would you? I mean, you
I
would
would hope
want it
so.
to happen.
Yeah,
right? You
I would
probably-
hope so that we. It depends on, like, obviously, first and foremost, like, the safety aspect of the world, but if those issues are addressed, if there's any issues, like, as long as it's safe, I don't see why not.
I mean, you guys have all been to the O show. I'm the only schmuck over here in the corner, so I'm just happy to be able to chat with you.
Yeah, there was, like, chatter of that going into the last one, but you also had an administration where, like, was butting heads, I think, a little bit, and then it kind of smoothed over, but yeah.
Be interesting to
can't.
see.
don't have CNN at the house or Fox News or MSNBC, so can't. I mean, ESPN is my news source. So.
Yeah, who's boycott? Who are these people who are calling for boycotts? Brands?
I don't know if it's. I mean, just different groups. You know, it's just different groups that are talking to IOC. You know,
damn groups, man.
Damn.
Lot of different groups. A lot of different
They on
groups.
Facebook?
Are they on Facebook?
They're definitely
I give them a like.
It'll be interesting to see. Here, let me pull it up.
I'm excited to see how the Tokyo ones go. And what that looks like.
Yeah, right? Is that... Have they made a clear cut, like, yes, we're going to do this?
I mean, they have for a while. I think they've been saying that. I'm pretty sure it's happening. It's going to be cool to see.
Now, is it just a no fans?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Can international fans go, you think?
I don't know. I don't know if you can fly to Japan or not.
Families, like, maybe they just...
I bet. I don't know. But
Well,
I feel
if
like
an NDA, you test into the bubble, and then like you just go as an athlete, and
maybe
that for sure, like...
Do you have it? I don't know.
Stay.
which I think would kind of be somewhat cool.
If it was just athletes?
Yeah,
Sounds
like it brings it back
like
to like
Hunger Games.
it brings it
Cannot
back.
leave.
It brings it back to like why you do sport. You do it for the sport, not for like the media, the fans, anything. You just do it for love of the sport, which is kind of cool in my eyes. Like, I don't know.
I
Can you
mean, there'd still be
imagine, like-
media. You'd be doing all Zoom stuff, but
Yeah,
But it would be different.
but
It would
can you
definitely be
imagine
different.
like an
Yeah,
Olympics back in Lake Placid or something at a place like that where it was like,
Be icy.
yeah,
Cold.
rainy.
So
It would be rainy and then it would be cold.
yeah.
here it is. Full-blown boycott push for Beijing Olympics. Groups alleging human rights abuses against minorities in China are calling for a full-blown boycott of the 2022 Olympics in Beijing, a move likely to ratchet up pressure on the International Olympic Committee, athlete sponsors, and sports federations.
I think I'm like more on the side of Murph that if you want to bring more attention to it, like shutting it off, I don't think brings attention to it, but like allowing athletes maybe to go and draw attention to it. And a way they see fit, maybe, who knows, maybe it might be a better answer than boycotting, but
Super hard
super
thing. Again, like probably no.
we're no
Yeah,
experts
better
and we're
answer,
not, yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I just don't think it accomplishes any.
What
I
would
don't
you
know what it would really accomplish other than hurting the athletes, at least on the U.S. end. You mean, especially, I mean, I feel like we're all going to be biased towards that because we've all spent 15, 16 years, you know, in the sport, pouring your heart and soul into it, and then to be like, oh, well, we're just not going to go this cycle. Another 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the cause is like a very just and
for sure.
necessary one, but
Sure.
I think if you don't go to the Olympics, I just don't see how it helps. Like, your country or your sponsor is making a statement, but that's impacting people in your own country. It's not impacting people in China.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Well,
you're
they're probably
for,
not
like,
seeing any of the
go
I
information.
guess. I guess the thing would be you're not like they're probably counting on some revenue dollars coming in, and if you boycott it and you don't go, and the sponsor money doesn't come in, then it maybe has an impact.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough not looking at it all being a sport from the athlete perspective.
Right.
Like, yeah, you'd want to
And then
go.
it would also be, you know, piggybacking on that loss of revenue and people not, like, you know, you had mom and dad show up, like, all the money that they spend and everything, and, like, you losing revenue there, there's no revenue coming in.
Right.
Spending on merchandise, hotels, food.
So maybe it would be more impactful to boycott. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough question. But it would be cool if they don't boycott it, if there is some kind of like organized effort to bring bring light to that. Obviously, like
Maybe
you know,
among the athletes,
Yeah.
right? Athletes can
Yeah.
all come
Yeah, like something
together.
like,
and,
why were you considering not coming? Like,
Yeah.
well, here's why.
or even like just your interviews or that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Tough one.
good food for thought.
Deep.
Deep. We got deep in here.
Deep.
Real deep. So, what else do we cover everything? Do you think we're good until when's the next time we come back and do this again? The fall?
Yeah, before
Summer? The fall?
Yeah, I guess see how talk about where people went in terms of summer training and
Yeah. Domestically, I think we definitely do a domestic one. Go through
We'll just go over the selections invite list. Why not?
every single name.
I mean, while we're here, do we give a prediction?
For the Olympics?
Do we give a team prediction?
I guess
Do we think so?
yes or no. We'll
Oh,
do
a
Olympics
team
happen.
prediction.
Yeah.
Team
Do we
prediction.
give a who's going? I mean,
We could start with yes or no. You think the Olympics are gonna happen?
Yeah, I'd say yes.
Yes.
I think yes.
Yeah.
4 yeses.
4 yes.
Good work, boys.
Yeah. I think it's gonna happen. Yeah. Will there be spectators?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Summer, I don't know about
I don't know on the spectator.
I don't know on the spectator.
for the summer, but yeah, early year away. Like what? As soon as the Super Bowl ends, right? They do like the Vegas odds the next day. So
Next
this
day.
would be 6 weeks later. Vegas odds after the end of nationals, but
Yeah, it'll be. I don't know. Well,
Go for
there's
it.
so
Yeah,
many
let's
different
do it.
variables
Let's do it.
on how they would break down, at least domestically, how would they break down the spots? Do they go
Don't a couple
two
girls
and-
already have it pretty much locked?
I don't think so.
No?
I'd have to.
I thought it was if you were top 4, or maybe even top 6 this
We're-
year.
It's top
Yeah, but
6
we're-
on FIS list.
were any events though?
Oh, we have a couple of those, no?
Just Jalen. To my
Oh, so
knowledge.
it's the 5th list, including
Well,
all the sports.
That's
not
how,
just
it's how
mobile.
you read it.
Got it.
It's how you read it. Is it top 6 on World Cup or top 6 on FIS list?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Mm,
From my reading, it's FIS list.
gotcha.
But
So what?
It could be
what
wrong.
wouldn't Hannah be in front of Jalen?
not on FIS list.
How does that work?
You hang the 2-year points.
Yeah.
Get
That's
a couple
the
wins
2-year.
under you, you get
Yep.
you got 1,000. But again, it's how you read it. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, if it says the FIS points list, that's what they're going off of. They're usually pretty on the ball. I mean, that's what the
But
writing
it doesn't say points list anywhere.
There's
It
no.
just says fist.
Eh,
There's no qualifier events like free ride still does. Like this
not
is
this
it.
year.
Got it.
No.
I think there should definitely still be a gold cup.
I
Like
would
the
vote
gold
for that.
cup would definitely be.
I don't know.
I would
I
like
think
that.
you and I like we were talking to Emerson the other day. I think that'd be tough though if spots are so limited to do a gold cup.
They are limited.
Limited, like I think there's a couple of skier cross athletes
Yeah.
actually coming up
Chuck
that
and
dip into
skier,
that
big
pool
air.
of the freestyle overall discipline, big air, like when there's already such a fight for spots. The gold cup, I think.
Gold cup's pretty sweet.
I
10 G's.
When there was
When you
more
stamp your
spots though,
ticket,
like I think I just
10
feel
G's
bad
and you
more.
stamp your ticket.
I guess I
Go.
sympathize a little bit more for like the athlete that has had more consistency than the guy that showed up on one day and killed it.
Right.
Considering what they've all been through last year, year before that, if it is like a 2-year type thing. But
Right.
don't get me wrong, it's great entertainment and it's a good story.
Yeah, but the guy who wins that thing can historically show up and like do something.
It does well. No,
Was
sure.
it? Did Travis Mayer do that?
Travis
Mayer
Mayer got
Gold
second,
Cup?
and,
Yeah.
and Casey
Casey,
didn't do it with
yeah.
the Gold Cup, but kind of the same
A
thing.
selections guy came out. I mean,
Yeah.
And
what do you get? 5th?
He got 4th.
4th?
No, he got 5th. Right?
I think he
Was
goes.
anyone close?
Yeah.
4th or 5th? I mean, he was the top American.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fourth
At
or
the
fifth.
games.
Fourth or fifth.
Were you on the team in 14? Weren't you close in 14? Try.
Yeah.
I was close, but I was,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's the thing too. I mean, didn't that year you had a 4th at World Cup, didn't you? Prior to the games
4th or 5th?
at Val St.
I
Com,
think it
right?
was fourth.
Got called
I
up,
thought it
went
was
and
fourth.
performed.
But were you on the team then or no?
Yeah, I was on the team.
Oh,
For
okay.
sure on the team, yeah.
Got
I remember that was at Deer Valley, right?
Yeah.
When I got, yeah, I was
We
in
were-
Norians.
We were
I
at
was
the
four
Deer
under
Valley.
Norian Stark
Deer
League.
Valley. Was it the Norian or was it the regional?
It was a regional.
I think it was a
actually.
regional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull them out.
Yeah, Mark Kenny radio. Get Mark out of the game.
I mean, historically, a lot of those people that get the last minute call up do something like Rowley did it in
Mojo.
Yeah.
what was it, 15 at Ruka?
Yep.
Got called up. I remember sitting in Aspen with him, and then he went and got a 4th at the World Cup opener.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Food for thought there.
Game time.
Alright, are we doing the Vegas odds picks or?
Are you talking about the qualifying team, or are you talking about the podium at the Olympics?
Keep it domestic or
The
both,
team
or-
going.
Team going.
Team going.
Team going. Okay.
Start
Are we
us
going?
off.
Are we going? Are we doing 4 and 4? I mean, how many spot? What? How many spot? What are we
I
thinking?
think whatever you think it's gonna be.
I think it might be 4 and 3.
4 and 3. I don't know. If we, can we come up with a consensus on that?
I don't know how many spots did they have. Because they had big
I'm
Isn't it-
thinking we're going back to 14. I think we're having a 4 and 2, but
You think
that's
it's 4 and
just
2?
me. That's how I see it playing out.
Did they
4
add
and
more
2.
spots when they added Big Air?
I don't think so.
Oh shit.
Was it
But
just
I think
snowboard?
the big air team might be
The same team.
the slope team. That's how snowboard did it at the last one.
They did? I thought they were on a different team. They didn't?
No, that's not true. I think there were some that were just specific.
Really?
Snowboard.
Yeah. Wasn't like Chris Corning
We
there for
could-
the Big Air maybe?
We could consult the team manager, but
Yeah, the team manager.
Good. I thought it was the same team, but I don't know.
Interesting. So are we going 4 and 2?
be optimistic.
I think you
4 and
go
3.
with whatever you think it's going to be.
4 and 3. 4 and 4.
I mean,
4 and 4. I think it'll be Brad. I think it'll be Nick. I think it's gonna be. I'm trying to think else. I think Dylan. I think Dylan's gonna come in. I think he's going to his O show. He's put in his dues. He's put in his time. He's skiing well. It's good events. I think Dylan will go.
I love it.
I think they do.
I do. I think he's gonna
I
go
do
too.
too.
Yeah.
I do too.
That last spot. I mean, that is such a tough one because you could have somebody like a Cole McDonald come out, win selections, boom, go out Deer Valley home course, and come at it like this. Super, super interesting to figure out. And I mean, it's funny that we're doing this now in literally May because there are so many other variables like injuries and all
That's
kinds
what all
of.
like Red Sports Talk Radio is. I'm like, Aaron Judge's gonna hit 30
Early
home
odds
runs.
on ya.
Let's see. Donnie Peltier?
Donnie. Donnie.
I'll go Joel. I'll go
Oh.
Joey.
I'm
I
gonna
think
go.
Joey's
I was gonna go exact same 4.
exact same 4.
Yeah.
I think Joey's going to get it done.
I'm basing it on 4 and 4. Who are your women then?
4 women. I will go with Kai, Jalen, Hannah. Morgan.
Yeah, I like those 4. I'm
OG's
picking the same
right
4.
there though. OG, and that's
And Taz.
Tess. I totally forgot about Tess. I'm sticking with my 4.
Okay.
I'm going exact same as Bob. Same order. I'll have the same.
I'm going to go with Brad, Nick, Dylan.
If you went straight off FIS, would Dylan be in there?
Well, I mean, he's the third ranked
He's the
American,
third American, yeah.
I did.
but
I didn't know if they were doing like the qualifying events. Or
Yeah.
FIS, so got it.
I'm going to go with those 3, and then I'm going to throw a full wild card in there and go coming out of selections, Jackson Harvey.
Jackson
Damn.
I think he's going to come
He's
out.
sick.
I think he's going
Damn.
to come out, win selections, and I have big hopes for him. I think he's going to do it.
He's a good skier.
It's my full wild card.
Yeah. Full wild card.
Good on you.
Uh,
No, he impressed for sure. The FIS Open
Yeah.
Nationals.
I mean, every
He
time I
skied
saw
really well
that
in
kid
selections,
ski,
too.
he was.
Yeah,
I mean,
humble,
he's-
nice kid. Like,
Yeah.
He's got the jumps.
Doesn't
He's
seem
got the
too rattled.
skiing.
Yep.
That's my hot pick.
Hot pick.
girls.
That's my hot pick. Girls.
You don't have to comment. You got stakes in the race.
I'm going with Hannah, Kai, Morgan, and Lemley.
Whoa.
Lemley.
Yeah.
I'm
I
taking.
could
I
definitely see
mean,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
going with the wild ones.
Yeah.
A full shakeup.
Lemley,
That girl's
makes me
good.
think, yeah, she is good.
She'll be old enough this year.
I mean, well, if she'll be old enough.
Not much originality, I guess, in three of my guys. I'm going to go Nick, Brad, Dilby, and a couple times sitting at the bottom of the course this year, one person I was impressed about and think if he can have some more consistency is Lando.
Yeah.
I think he's an
Mm-hmm.
exciting skier to watch. And think he had kind of an up and down year, and if he could piece it together, he has another year in that suit, a little bit more comfortable. He would be my wild card. Cole's in there too, but pick four. I'll go Lando. I think Cole will get some World Cup starts this year, hopefully. And then girls, Mo, she's a gamer.
Total gamer.
Hannah. I think I said it last year, and it was a bit of a still top 10 in the world is a good year, but not only the year. Probably result wise, if you asked her, she wanted his Tess, but I think Tess will have a strong showing going into it. She's another gamer and mature beyond her years. I think she's got kind of the mental capacity to focus in on getting back to the games. So Tess, and then between Jaybird and Lemley. Jaybird's a competitor too. I'll go Jalen. Yeah.
Well, the one thing, I mean, I don't.
But I think Lemley will get some starts.
Yeah, I mean that women's field in the U.S. is
Deep.
out of control. They are all
Yeah.
very good, and I think we'll all be super surprised come January with the four going.
But what you do see consistently is that in terms of the Olympics, experience certainly helps. So all the Jalen's and the Morgans have that experience of going through the process, getting to the games, know what they need to do, test as well, and just getting it done.
Yeah.
Where that's a heavy weight if you
It is.
your first World Cups
Well,
and you're trying to make the games
People always do it though, man.
But I mean, the last Olympics too. Correct me if I'm wrong. 7 out of the 8 were not previous.
previous games, but there's a difference between previous games and not even a World Cup start.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Casey proved it.
Yeah. No.
He took
absolutely.
it all the way to the top American there.
Yeah. It's gonna be
It's a
interesting,
tough
and
one.
that's
It's
when
a
we
tough
have time.
one,
It's gonna be
yeah.
interesting to see how he comes back.
Yeah.
Could be interesting because he'll be back in the fold this year. Same thing. I mean, is Jesse gonna be able to be back in time? Because I know he had that injury. Is he?
I think he's back.
Is he back?
You know. Here's another topic to touch on. How about we talk nationals on the men's side? How about Nessa with the W?
Yeah. That's the way to go out and retire.
Way to
Good
go
honor.
out, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. She's great too.
It's a good one.
Good honor.
Cork with a cork grab. Look good.
Nice, yeah.
Yep.
Fun. Yeah, she was having fun too. It's good to see.
It was.
Not many people get to go out kind of on their terms,
Yeah.
It was really cool to see that.
She skied really well. No, it's good. It's a good end to the season. The Hog Casey as well. Kind of finished that thing off right. She skied really well. Sabrina. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
So this is the prediction as of May 17th.
It'll be fun to see, the training where everyone goes and the chatter. Hopefully everyone stays healthy, but those will happen. But
Kick back up. Yeah. Like Ian. I mean, it's one of those.
Oh,
It's
man.
just brutal.
we're just talking about nationals on a high note. It's really
It's one of those. Well, you touch on those injuries, and it's one of those things. Kids skiing super well, and I didn't even hear. Do you know what he? I looked like he blew his knee. I mean, I have no idea.
And I think
It's some other stuff too.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's super tough, especially at that event. But What'll happen.
Seems like it always happens there. Like somebody always gets hurt at national.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Somebody who's like right
super,
up,
super
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like Hanscom,
Cat or it's
Casey.
Casey. Yeah.
I hate to laugh, but yeah, it's either that, like someone that's really close to killing it, or it's someone that's like, I'm gonna make a comeback at nationals.
The Zach Walker. Blow your hip out.
Oh,
That
that was
bad.
gnarly.
Can
Yeah.
negate up against a
That
guy
was
like Show.
gnarly. Yeah. Oof.
You think you're hanging until bottom air, you're not.
Oof. That was brutal. Ouch. That's definitely brutal. Well, we got to finish on something else, so we can't end on like the low point there. We can't end on everybody being fucking hurt.
Well, let's do a quick Olympic podium run while we're at it. Why not?
While we're at it, okay. Olympic
Okay.
podium. I like it. Olympic podium for men. I will go. And no one has skied the course, right? I mean, this is
I don't think
total
so.
It's,
full.
well, I've seen a picture of it.
You've seen a picture of it, but I don't. They didn't do the test
Never-
event,
No one's ever
Sweet.
seen it, but it looks sick. I
Okay.
tell you what,
so
they
it looks sick.
yeah,
This is coming from the guy who loves skiing China.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Classic
China
China.
guy.
Classic China. It looks beautiful.
Small bumps.
Small bumps, tight,
Fur.
styrofoam snow. It's gonna be great. Everyone's gonna love it.
I also had a good time in China.
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
You did.
I actually had like a bad time until it turned into a good time.
Yeah.
Not so great, so it's good. I'll go Mick. I think there's no one else that's analyzing that picture that you have. If it's out there, he's analyzing that picture and he's going to try and
He's seen it.
he's
He
seen it and
knows.
he'll figure out, okay, this is what left line looks like. This is what the middle line looks like. Middle right.
To the
It's
ceiling.
just totally, just looking at it, totally analyzing it. So yeah,
It's like the
I think
Queen's
Mick will be.
Gambit.
What?
It's like the Queen's
Oh,
Gambit. He's like
yeah.
staring at all the different run scenarios on the
Couple
ceiling at night.
Molson Canadians and just.
I will go with. Second's gonna be tough. I'll go Cavett.
Ooh.
Cavett in second. I think Cavet's.
Really?
Yeah, I think Cavett will come
Okay.
in second. And I think Matt. I think Matt Graham will finish out top three. That's my call there.
Women's?
Women's, I got stakes in the game.
Duels?
No, you can't go.
Duels?
Duels? I don't think.
I'm gonna
Team
go.
event?
I'm gonna go Mick, Akuma, Matt.
Make a Kuma Matt.
Yeah, and then for the women, I'm gonna go. That one is hard, man. I'm gonna go. I want to say like Kai, Perrine, Hannah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Nice one.
that one's so
Yeah.
hard, dude. It's like a toss up.
I'm gonna go with Mick, Matt, Dylan.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm gonna go with the all-time story. That's what I'm going with. And then for women, I'm gonna go Morgan, Perrine, Lazarenko.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot that Morgan. Yeah,
yeah.
hard to count her out too.
I'm going with the story times for
Story
both
times.
of them.
I like
you know?
it.
Why not?
Why don't you put Dylan up in top spot?
Gotta be somewhat logical with it. You know? Like, Mick's winning, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, Mick's winning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go. Girls, Perrine, Morgan, and she didn't have a great year this year, but I think that's gonna light a fire under it is Jakara.
Whoa,
Oh, yeah.
nice one.
See that too. The women's like
And,
field, it's like anybody's game.
Yeah, it's tough.
And then dudes, I think Mick. I don't think we're going another cycle without a guy on the podium, so I'm gonna go with Nick.
Ooh,
And
okay.
then part of me wants to go with a Kazakh, like a Dmitry to seal off the career, or like a Kolmakov.
A Pavel up there,
Yeah,
that could be
like
you.
a Pavel, like,
Yeah.
and they do well on those
Yeah.
short, short
Super
bump,
tight.
tiny
Yeah,
bumps.
yeah.
So I don't know. What do you guys think, Dmitry or Pavel?
I'd go
The
Dmitry.
bowl, man.
Dimitri,
I would, yeah.
seal it.
Need Dimitri. Good
Yeah.
capper of the career.
Go with Dimitri. Yeah, there's part of me like seeing what happened at World Champs this year. Speaking to me. Some
Cool. Well, there you
secondary
have it.
luck in there. Yeah.
Good.
Sealed.
That's a good.
In the
That's a good
history books.
roundup. Yeah,
Good
no, for
prediction.
sure. I think one thing to finish it off, Murph. We are going to be donating to which foundation?
Oh yeah, the.
What do we do?
Oh yeah,
decide?
you guys should introduce that because I think you had some support from them.
Well, you did as well, right?
I think I applied, but I'm not sure I got it.
Yeah.
Edog,
Well,
take it away.
Yeah.
To the T2 Foundation. They help skiers of multiple disciplines at various levels reach whatever their goals may be.
yeah, they
and-
helped at least half of the people in this circle here.
Yeah.
If not
3/4.
3/4. Yeah.
Yeah.
They thought about helping me.
They really help bridge the gap, and
They may have, but no, because you have to wear a sticker on your helmet if you get support from them, right?
no,
No.
I did.
I thought that goes to the highest bidder, but.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but yeah, they're a great
I
organization.
thought you had like Moxie on the front of your helmet.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, Moxie and John Deere. were
John
taking-
Deere. Or
John Deere. Yeah.
I thought it was Napa.
And Napa. Yeah.
Well, perfect. T2 Foundation. Well, thanks a
Yeah.
lot, boys.
Thanks,
Look forward
TJ.
to doing this again a little bit later in the summer, and I'm curious to see how those predictions will look
Will
just when
hold
we
up.
get to like October or something.
Yeah,
You think they're gonna change?
I think that they will change. I think
unfortunately.
100% that they will change, which is unfortunate, but I think it will happen. Yeah. But yeah, look forward to doing this again soon.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, guys.
boys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.